welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much, guys, for the last two videos that I uploaded, the love that you've shown it, for subscribing as well. We are we are going somewhere, I think. And please excuse my crease shirt. I don't like ironing. I would rather scrub the floor the whole day than iron, so just forgive me. If it's wearable, I'm gonna wear it, and this was wearable today, so please just don't focus on the crease shirt, just focus on what I have to say today. Thank you so much for subscribing, guys, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button, and don't forget to also click the notification button, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Before I start, as usual, I am featuring Pebby Hair. You can follow them on Instagram, Pebby Beauty Castle. I will link the Instagram page on the description box, and also you can see over here Pebby _ beauty _ castle. They're ones that I'm featuring today. All of the units are my favorite, but I think this one is slowly just winning my heart. Before I just carry on speaking about nothing, I just want to jump straight into it. Today I just want to talk about my journey with the copper IUD. If you don't know what the copper IUD is, it's a method of preventing pregnancy, where they insert a copper. It's not a copper thing, but it's like, how can I say this? Okay, I'll just stick a picture of it there. Apparently the copper releases its copper to sort of like disturb the sperm, to like sperm, don't you think about going to fertilize an egg, don't you dare. But anyway, you know, pregnancy really needs like the uterus to be clean, to be undisturbed by anything. So copper is just gonna sit there. They insert it in the uterus, and it's just gonna sit there and like just disturb the process. Well, sometimes it doesn't work for some people. I've seen a picture where a child is born holding the copper in their hand, like, yeah, mommy, what were you thinking? For some people it's like that. For some people it doesn't work, but it worked for me. I'm just going to talk about the journey that I had with it. So I actually wanted a prevention method that was going to be something that's going to last me for a very long time, because I don't plan to have kids anytime soon, maybe ever, I don't know. So I just wanted something that was going to be long term for me. I really enjoyed using the pill. It was really good for me, because sometimes you can just decide that, well, you know what, this month I'm not going to have my period. So you just, you can just do some research on how that works. But yeah, I had months when I decided that I'm not gonna have my period, I'm going on vacation, and I don't want nothing to disturb me, so I would stop my period with the pill. But then unfortunately the pill can cause blood clots, and then in my family we've got a lot of problems with blood clots. So I decided that I'm not gonna risk it and take the pill that's gonna cause blood clot, because the blood clot thing is in my bloodline. So I don't know, I might be putting myself at risk when I take them. So I stopped taking them. I think they're good for short term, like if you know that you're gonna have kids maybe after a year, after 2 years, then you can use it. I think I really enjoy them, and they also regulated my period so nice. It was nice and light, no stress. I knew that this day would be the period is coming, and then indeed that day it will come. So it was very predictable, and you could sort of like control your flow. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't want to risk having blood clots, so I stopped. So after I had my second baby, I was looking for something that was more long term, so then I settled for the copper IUD. Yeah, so it was good, it was nice. To insert it was also not like a train smash. It wasn't painful at all. I remember the doctor telling me to cough it. And then I think when you cough, it like goes up or something when she was inserting it. So no problems. It's just that your uterus tries to get rid of it, like, so you feel like something's really like drop when you go to the toilet or something, but none of that happened. And then it comes with strings as well, so that when they take it out, then the strings come out. Fine, cool. I took it while I was breastfeeding. So I don't know if I talked about this, but normally when I breastfeed, I don't go on my period at all, like for a whole year. So then with my second baby, I didn't go on my period. I went on my period after I gave birth, and then after 6 weeks the period stopped. They didn't come back. after, I think they started April when they came back. Okay, April was the first year where they April was the first month when they came back. They came back, I was like sad, like, oh, it was a life of that period is so good. But anyway, they came back on April, then May, and then June, I don't know what happened, but it was like a tap was open. I was so shocked that when I went to the bathroom, okay, normally during the first day of the period, the second day of the period, it's the heaviest, right? So normally maybe you like put on a pad when you go to work, and then when you get to work, maybe it's still okay, it doesn't need to be changed. But that day when I got to work, it was full, like to the brim, like it was at the end, and I had like a little stain. Lucky for me, it was very black. And then after that, I was like, okay, what's happening? And then after that, I put in another one, and same thing happened. Like after like an hour, it was full. And then it was so bad, like I stained my jeans, and then I just made an excuse like, okay, my child is sick at home, can I please go home, just attend to her? And that's how I got away from work. When I got here, I washed my jeans, and then I just got a bigger pad, those night pads, and then I wore it. That was just beginning of horror. And then after that, the next month also, not the same thing happened, but the flow was just so bad. It was just so bad. And then after that, I started feeling dizzy. That's a year after, like after my period came, right? A year after the copper incision, the IUD copper incision. Then after that, I felt so dizzy. I felt lightheaded, and then it was almost a mess. And then they're like, and then I asked a friend of mine, and she said, oh no, that's normal. Your period is going to regulate, and then everything's going to go back to normal. But then, yeah, it carried on, and then I started losing hair. Like, I started losing, like, I started losing hair. It was really horrible. And then I'm going to tell you why I started losing hair. And then after that, one day at work, I just collapsed. And then when I went to the doctor said, you are so anemic. It's so bad. You are really anemic. And then when I did my research, I found out that that's the reason I'm actually losing hair again, because I'm anemic. You know, when you're anemic, it means that not enough blood cells that carry the oxygen get to your brain. So the reason why I fainted is that like there was just not enough blood cells going to my brain, and so I collapsed. There's not enough oxygen going to the brain, so then I just switched off, and then I collapsed. And then I started to take iron supplements, and then I started to take supplements, and then but then it didn't get better. That's the reason actually why I also lost my hair, because like I said, okay, the reason why I lost my hair is because the how can I say this? The blood cells that carry oxygen into your body prioritize places that are more important. So it won't prioritize your hair growth cells or whatever. So then that's why I started losing hair, because the anemia was really bad. And then the doctor asked me, but we're like, where are you losing blood? And then I told him that no, I'm losing blood during my period. My period is quite heavy, but I didn't tell him that I had the copper IUD. He didn't ask as well. And then after that, carried on, and then it didn't stop. Like, you know, dizziness and lightheadedness was basically my life. Every day, almost every day, I would feel. If I were to be tired or stressed, it would just get worse. The dizziness and the lightheadedness would get worse. And then what I also noticed as time went by is that the smell of the discharge, especially after my period would stop, was just terrible. It would smell so bad. It will smell so bad that I would need to constantly change my panty liners. Like every time I need to go to the toilet, I need to change my panty liners. And then I realized that no, it's probably the copper IUD. And so I decided I just decided that I'm gonna take it out. And you know, the sad part is that what I wish I would have done prior to inserting the copper IUD is that I wish I really would have done my research more. I just saw that my friend had it in, and then she was like, oh, you know what, all these things so stressless, like there's no problems and all of that. And then so I was also happy to just use it. Didn't give me problems. It was a good a method of prevention, but then the period was just terrible. And then later on, when I went to the doctor, she actually said that the copper IUD was really bad, and sometimes maybe if I had kept it on for long, it would have caused endometriosis. I don't know if I say that right, but just write the word down here. She said that if I'm really struggling with terrible period pains, that means my uterus is contracting too much, and then when it contracts too much, some of the blood splatters into the ovaries, and then that's how you get endometriosis. And that's how you get that disease. So then, lucky for me, I didn't have any painful periods. The periods were not bad. The period pains were not bad. I mean, I would just have like a grandpa, and then I would be fine. And then she recommended one to me, which was, I think it was a hormonal one. She just explained which copper IUD it was, but then it wasn't a copper IUD, but it was just another. It starts with an M, the other one, but it was just another form of prevention, but still inserting something up your vagina, up your uterus, and then it lasting for 5 years. But I've had enough that I decided that, you know what, my journey with this copper IUD ends here today. I'm taking it out. You know, maybe for you it might be a different story, but it was a real horror story for me. And then it didn't end there, actually. So when I went to the doctor, deciding that, okay, this is the day that I'm gonna take it out, she actually did also check for me to see if I don't have endometriosis, if I don't have any cysts, if actually I don't have anything compromising on my womb, on my uterus, on my ovaries, and on my eggs. She said that everything was fine, but then the problem was that she couldn't find the damn strings. Strings had disappeared. Like, apparently they just had become part of my skin. They just, like, so she couldn't really take it out. Okay. And so after that, I had to go to like a day clinic and take it out there in methods that they knew best. So yeah, this thing really just ended up being like a real kind of like nightmare for me, but really it was a good preventative method to prevent pregnancy because of the reasons that I stated at first. But I think before you really consider taking the copper IUD, then you should do your research properly and just prepared for a lot of iron deficiency. Just prepare yourself for just living on iron, because I lived on iron each and every day and made sure that I take iron. And then after I took it out, I noticed that the smelly discharge was absolutely gone, and also my period was just a little bit. I am a person who has heavy periods, but they were just a little bit better. And then absolutely no period pains. I haven't had period pains ever since I gave birth, so I think pregnancy healed me. Hallelujah. What was I saying? And then again, yeah. And then also I only take my iron supplements when I'm really stressed. If I know that it's gonna be like big stress at work, like there's going to be a lot of projects, then I take my iron supplements, or during and after my period, then I take my iron supplements. But other than that, lightheadedness, dizziness is gone, because I thought, wow, what kind of life is this gonna be where I'm just dizzy and I'm lightheaded every single chance? But now I am so much better after taking it out. And I really hope that before you consider putting it in or using it as a prevention method, just do your research thoroughly, or rather go for a different kind of IUD either than the copper, except for the copper one, because there's different ones. There's different ones. There's ones with hormones. The copper IUD was the ones with no hormones, and there's another one that my gynecologist prescribed to me. So So then I took it out now, and yeah, like I said, I'm feeling so much better. So before you consider actually taking any prevention, just please do your research. That is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe and give it a huge thumbs up. I will see you next time. Bye bye.